Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy RedCloud. Today I'm going to be showing you guys the best FPS settings to boost your FPS, lower your latency, and improve your overall gameplay for Fortnite Season 6. And I'm going to be showing you it for AMD and NVIDIA graphics cards. So guys, strap in, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get right into it. Alright guys, so I do want to let you know that I do stream Monday through Friday on Twitch. So if you guys want to check me out or ask questions, I'm over there. And if you guys want to play with me, I'm also playing Fortnite Season 6 and I'm really enjoying it. I also have some other YouTube content that you might be interested in. But before we get into that, let's go to our Windows and we're going to hit the Windows key and you're going to type update and check for updates. So this is super important because if you're not on the latest up-to-date Windows 10, whatever version you have, you're going to be at a severe disadvantage here because a lot of the newer updates give you a lot more optimizations for gaming. So once you've done that, you can head over to the home and go over to the gaming tab, or you can look this up by just pressing the Windows key. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to disable the Xbox game bar. And then you're also going to want to disable captures and move all this stuff as low as possible. So you just take all this stuff off. Now, this is why this is also important, why you update your Windows, because when you have game mode on, it actually helps you now with your FPS. A few years ago, it didn't help you, so a lot of people recommended not to have it on. But now it actually does help you out quite a bit. So once you're done that, that's all the settings that we can do here. Now, depending on what graphics card you have, this step might be for you. Most NVIDIA cards, more recent cards, should be able to do this. I don't know too much about AMD cards specifically with this step, but what you want to do is you want to Windows key and type graphics settings, and then there's an option here for hardware accelerated GPU scheduling. So what you can do is you can test around with this. All you'll have to do is reset your PC after you hit this on. For some games, it doesn't really help you if you're streaming it, especially. So if you're playing Warzone and you're streaming it, you might get a lot of flickering. So if you are doing that, I would not suggest doing this, but it can reduce latency and improve performance. So this is something that you're going to have to test out specifically for your graphics card and your computer. But for me, this does help quite a bit. I took it off just to show you guys this. So the other thing that you can do is graphics performance preference. What you're going to do is you're going to browse for Fortnite.exe, which is where Fortnite is launched from. So browse, and then for me, my Fortnite is installed on my hard drive, and I would definitely suggest, by the way, installing Fortnite on an SSD for faster boot times and faster loading into the game. And then we're going to go to Fortnite game, down to binaries, then Windows 64, and then Fortnite launcher. You can select all of these, but Fortnite Windows shipping is the main game. So this is all that really, the only one that you really need to worry about. And then what you do, after you select it, you can hit options. And then instead of letting Windows decide, you can run it on high performance. So you hit save and then bam, it's all set. And now Windows is running the game on high performance mode based on your settings. All right, guys, next we're going to update our graphics card if you haven't already. So what you're going to do is if you have an AMD card, go to the description of the video, click the AMD link, and it'll auto update your graphics card driver right there after you install AMD Adrenalin 2020. And this will optimize it for Fortnite, obviously, because it's the latest up-to-date driver. Same thing with GeForce Experience here. If you guys have an NVIDIA card, which most of you do, you can download it right here, and you can, update your graphics card driver, and that way you guys are always on the best up-to-date drivers. All right, guys, to launch GeForce Experience, once you download it, you can type GeForce Experience, and it'll come up. The other thing that you can do is to disable shadow play, because shadow play, it writes to your hard drive a lot. So when you're clipping stuff, it actually hinders your gameplay performance. So what I do is I actually take off in-game overlay, and because I'm always streaming on Twitch, I can just clip it from there instead of downloading it to my computer. But if you guys aren't streaming and stuff like that, you might be able to get away with that. So just a heads up. GeForce Experience, by the way, all you do is you get here, check for updates, and if you're on the latest updated driver, it'll just say you have the latest GeForce Game Ready driver. The last step that we're going to take before we get into Fortnite is we're going to go to our control panel for NVIDIA, and we're going to adjust some settings. Now, the quick and easy way to do this would be to just use my preference emphasizing performance, But I actually have a video if you guys want to check it out. It almost has 10,000 views and it's been helping out a lot of people for the best NVIDIA control panel settings. And I also have an AMD graphics card settings for control panel there for, it's got like 60,000 views or something like that. So it's been helping out quite a bit of people. So if you guys want to check those videos out, definitely go check them out. They're in the description of the video and also above the screen right now. I want to let you know that I do have a supported creator code. So if you guys want to use my code in the VBook item shop, I definitely appreciate it and it helps me out. Hashtag ad, by the way. All right, guys. So it won't be very surprising that obviously the best settings for Fortnite are on performance mode alpha. It reduces your input latency by half and it increases your FPS tenfold. So this game is definitely done a really good job with its rendering mode. For me personally, I use meshes on high and then my textures on low and my view distance on medium. I think that view distance is something that really hasn't changed much in the game that much. So when you're rendering out, it honestly doesn't help you too much, especially since most fights, especially now in Fortnite, there's no snipers, is honestly close range, medium fights. So definitely don't stress too much about using far or epic. And then as far as textures go, if you have a low end graphics card, what you're going to do is you want to keep this on low. The reason why is because the more textures that you're loading, the more VRAM memory you're using. So if you have a 2 GB card, definitely use this on low. If you have a 4 GB, you can use this on medium high. If you have a 6+ GB card, you could use this on epic, but no one really would use that on epic anyway. So I use it on low, even though I have a really good graphics card. Now, meshes is something that is also very interesting. If you have a low-end graphics card, you should use this on low. For a lot of people, they don't really like the way the mobile graphics looks. I personally kind of like it. I don't know why. But yeah, meshes, if you want, you can have this on low. It does help by about like 5 to 10%. And for high, obviously it looks a little bit better, but not as good as DX12 or DX11. But in my opinion, the performance that you gain from using, performance mode alpha is just way too good. Even as a content creator, I really can't stress it enough how good it feels to play on performance mode alpha. The other thing is you want your VSync off. Do not want your VSync on at all. This will lock your frame rate to your monitor. So if you have a 60 hertz monitor, it'll lock it at 60 and it'll feel terrible to play. Go FPS, that's obviously up to you. I use it on, obviously. Render mode is set to alpha. All right, so as far as our display mode, we always want to run Fortnite in full screen, and we always want to run it on our native monitor resolution. If you guys are struggling to play at 1080p, it's probably because you don't have more than like 2 GB of VRAM. So if you don't have 2 GB of VRAM, or you want more FPS on a 4 GB card, you want to run it on 1600 by 900. Most cards after 2012 can run most games, especially Fortnite now on performance mode, over 1600 by 900. But if you guys are really struggling, you guys feel free to run it at 720p and obviously test this. All right, guys, something that's very important, by the way, if you guys have low-end CPUs, you can tell if you have a low-end CPU if you have something like a Ryzen 3 1200 or, let's say like an i3, an old gen i3, an old gen i5, something like that. You guys will be able to tell if you guys have less than 4 threads or 4 cores, or if you even just have 4 cores, 4 threads. What you're going to want to do is you want to kind of cap your FPS. The reason why I say cap your FPS is because sometimes when you get lag spikes, it's not because of your graphics card, it's not because of the game, it's because you're pushing your graphics card too much, and when your graphics card is being pushed that much, it pushes your CPU that much. And what happens is your CPU hits 100% and then it starts to throttle back down because it's overheating or it's just being overused. So you want to cap your FPS especially if you're getting lag spikes, you want to cap it, let's say at 120 FPS if you're, comfortable around there. And if you're really struggling to get more than 60 frames without stuttering, cap it at 60 frames and do yourself a favor with that. So guys, with performance mode alpha, I'm able to achieve 400 consistent plus FPS, which is really good, especially when uncapped. The reason why I uncap sometimes is because your frame time gets reduced as well. That's something that's very important because we have 1 millisecond response time monitors, or sometimes 2 or less. And the lower your millisecond response time on your frame time is, the better and closer it is to your monitor's refresh rate. So meaning that it can actually be noticed and stuff like that. So if you actually cap your FPS, that's something I'll show you guys with my frame time above my head. Let's say it's at 60, and you look at my frame time now, and my frame time jumped as well as my game thread time, total GPU time. It all jumped to 16 milliseconds compared to what it was at unlimited, which was basically under 2, under 3 consistently. So that's something that's really important, because if you guys have a high-end PC, you can uncap your FPS and actually feel the difference when you're playing the game. So that's something that's really, really important, especially nowadays, because like a lot of people, they think like, you know, frames don't win games and stuff, and you can't see more than 60 frames and stuff, but you actually can, and you can really actually feel it. Hey, we got the first triple. Let's go. I'm just kidding. I can do triples, but well, all right. I hope this video helped you guys out. If it did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let's try and go for 50 likes on this video if you guys would want to help me out. Thank you again so much for all the support. We're almost at 3,000 subs here. Just a few months ago, we were just barely at 500. So thank you so much for all the support. If you guys want to play with me, I'm live every day at twitch.tv/RedCloud. And you guys can hit me up on Discord, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, the whole shebang if you guys want, in the description of the video. And I'll answer any comments and questions if you guys stop by my stream. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Peace out.